Module 4, Part B, Project Iteration 1. In this part, I will use a sequence of videos to explain how to develop this whole project, actually the iteration 1 part. All right, B.1, project planning. So we need to have an overview of this project. So we need to, prepare ourselves mentally. What should we do in this project? So the planning part first. Yeah. So look at the features, the main features described for this iteration. Yeah. As I said before, I gave you 2 examples. So we want to combine the features from those 2 examples to make this iteration. Yeah. The first example is that Duke Spring example. Yeah, so in that one, we did some basic Spring MVC feature. Another one I also give you, and I create a sequence of videos to explain that example in details. So you can, study those videos to understand that example. That's the Math Sync one. Math Sync. Okay, so these 2 examples we need to use to, put their features together, and then, definitely we need to modify when necessary to get this whole iteration done. Yeah. So let's look at a feature first. When a user comes to web application, we display all the questions in the question bank. Yeah. So display data stored in the database. Yeah. So that part is from the Math Sync. Okay. Yeah. So display. Yeah. Here. That feature. So display math questions. Okay. Yeah. So that feature, that part, we borrow from Math Sync. But when you do display, you need to do the database query, right? Yeah. So the database, JDBC part, we also use from that Math Sync. Okay. All right. Now, pagination, we delay to later iterations if we need it. Yeah. A text area is used to allow user to enter math questions. So that is the input part. So user's input. Yeah. In Math Sync, there is no user's input. We just display math questions. Yeah. So that user input part, yeah, we need to borrow from the Duke Spring, because we, in that example, hello Spring, right? Duke, the user enters data. So we use the user input from Duke Spring. User's input. But when the user provides input, we do the data binding. So the data binding feature we use in that user input part. Okay, to copy it, yeah. So, all right, we need to validate our data. So validation also from the Duke Spring, right? Yeah, Spring MVC validation. Yeah. Part. And when we do validation, we just do the simplest validation, non-empty Spring. Yeah. So basically, we just use Duke Springs validator. Yeah, so modify slightly so we can get this feature. Yeah. All right, so next one. When a new question is entered, our page is updated to include a newly entered. So that one, after we complete data processing, we need to go back to the original page. But when we go back to the original page, we need to, don't forget data binding part. Yeah. So that one, yeah. So related to the controller, yeah. Controller, form view part, yeah. Because after you complete all the processing, you go back to the original page. That's the form view. So your controller returns to the form view. Yeah. So that part also from the Duke Spring. Yeah. So this step, a little harder. Yeah. This step a little harder. Although we borrow directly from Duke Spring, but to understand the logic, it is a little harder. Yeah. All right. So then, yeah, what else? Here, it looks like we cover all the features. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, configuration, right? Because Spring MVC configuration, we need to use the Duke Spring configuration. Yeah. XML configuration. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so you can see in this way, we can pretty much cover all the features. Yeah. But we need to, do some work. Yeah. All right, starting from the next video, so I try to, go step by step to complete each part, putting together to complete this project iteration. All right, so let me stop here for the first video.